You are young when you first experience jealousy, although you do not have a word for it yet. It begins as a strange feeling in your chest whenever someone else receives attention that you wanted for yourself. A classmate gets praised by a teacher. A friend receives a better gift. Someone wins while you lose. The feeling is uncomfortable, but it is also deeply human. Almost everyone experiences it. Yet very few people understand what it is actually trying to tell them. As you grow older, jealousy becomes more sophisticated. It no longer appears only when someone has something you want. Sometimes it appears when someone becomes the person you wish you could be. You scroll through social media and see people traveling, succeeding, building businesses, finding love, or achieving goals. Suddenly, your own life feels smaller than it did just moments before. Nothing has changed except your perspective. The comparison creates the pain. What makes jealousy powerful is that it disguises itself. Most people do not say, "I am jealous." Instead, they criticize. They downplay another person's success. They search for flaws. They convince themselves that the other person got lucky. This protects the ego from an uncomfortable truth. If someone else's success is deserved, then it forces you to confront your own inaction, mistakes, or limitations. The strange thing is that jealousy is not always negative. In many cases, it functions like a signal. It reveals hidden desires that you may not openly admit. You rarely feel jealous of things you do not care about. If someone's achievement bothers you, it may be because part of you wants a similar result. The emotion points toward an aspiration. The problem begins when you focus more on the other person than on your own growth. Many people become trapped in a cycle of comparison. They measure their progress against friends, coworkers, neighbors, and strangers online. Every achievement becomes temporary because there is always someone who has more money, more beauty, more status, more recognition. The finish line constantly moves. No matter how much they achieve, satisfaction remains out of reach because comparison destroys gratitude. The people who handle jealousy well understand something important. They treat it as information rather than evidence of failure. Instead of asking, "Why do they have it?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Their attention shifts from resentment to action. The emotion remains the same, but the response changes completely. Over time, you begin to realize that jealousy is rarely about other people. It is usually about the gap between who you are and who you want to become. The other person simply makes that gap visible. Once you understand this, jealousy loses much of its power. It becomes a mirror instead of a wound. And the final lesson is surprisingly simple. The people who spend their lives watching others rarely build lives worth envying, while the people who focus on their own path eventually become too busy growing to compare themselves at all.